make sure
We'll get to that in a
you guys
minute.
get your hands on these bends. Alright, so you're ready. These are initial starting points. Set up. So 12 to 14, choose one. Alright, I don't care, choose one. 12 to 14 on your rates. And then I think we're to total volume. Okay, based on your ideal body weight, you're going to do 6 to 8 mLs per kilo. Alright, and then what's the next one there?
Your flow
rates.
40 to 60.
60. Choose something. Alright, I usually start in the middle, Miss Temple start in the middle. And then I think we went to flow sensitivity, 2 or 3. Then we went to FI2. FI2 depends on your patient's need. If they're coding, 100%. If they're on a BiPAP, whatever percent they're on, right? Or whatever they're on before. So 5 FiO2. Alright? What's the 6th one? Peak?
2
3
to 5.
Pick one. Alright, 3 or 5. And then I think it was, what else was it?
That's all that we initially
I think
set.
there's a waveform in there.
Well, you just have your ramp.
Your ramp. So it's a ramp. So I think you could change it.
You can do it to square, but you normally
do
keep
square
it.
when we're doing like testing and things like that. But make sure your waveform is on a ramp. So how many is that? It's simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
6 plus ramps.
Plus ramp is 7, and then basically your AC mode, that would be 8. So you start with your mode, always start with your mode and your basic settings, and then go down starting with your frequency. Is everybody okay with those 8 settings?
And you can look down here, it says ACVC. I remember it was an 80 kilogram patient, and it has 6 milligrams per kilogram. But I do about it, that's how they came up with the 480. So they actually show you down here.
And that was real nice that it shows you that. Cervical eye is not so new, so you're going to see the difference in the cervical eye because it doesn't have all the bells and whistles like the 980 does. I don't even know if it calculates all that stuff for you and shows you the calculation. So that's why I want y'all to know those 8 settings. Start with your mode, frequency, all the way down to your ramp. I don't even know if this one even has your waveform. So if it doesn't, you don't worry about it, but that one definitely does. Can everybody see your initial setup and your initial settings? I just had to get y'all's notes together because sometimes y'all's notes get out of the way. So, yeah, just a little bit. Alright, once you go through that, then obviously your settings, you accepted the settings. Your settings are done. After you set your settings, what would you like to do? Just like bypass.
Start.
Before you monitor after your settings.
Start.
Nope, we do our apnea set. Apnea first.
On the ventilator, we do apnea setup. What's apnea? It's like a backup setting. So if your patient goes apneic, it's going to go into these settings. Does that make sense? So we want to make sure we match up our initial settings because if they go apneic, they need to go back to initial. Say that you were weaning the patient, but all of a sudden you were weaning and changed all these settings throughout 2 days, and they actually went apneic. You need to go back to initial settings and choose out of that. So I would just match it up.
So first off, it gives you a seconds. So this is what we've talked about before. You have the 20 seconds. They go apneic for 20 seconds. That's where it is. Yeah, you can change it, but it defaults to 20. You can go all the way down to 6 seconds. Typically, we just leave it at the default at 20 seconds. So then you look over, you have your frequency, your tidal volume, your flow. Then you have 100%. We're gonna leave it at 100% because they just stopped breathing, okay? So when it starts breathing for them, I want them to get 100%. So I'd match up 10 and 10, 480, 48. Come back here. Sorry. 480, 480. The max I would change because it defaulted back to 70. So, and in the end, always accept. So before I can work on my alarms, you have a little menu tab over here. Nope, you go down here, sorry. So vent, apnea, then you go to your alarms.
What do you do prior to alarms?
Put it on the page.
Put it on your patient. You can't adjust your alarms without monitoring your patient, right? But he's not even connected. So you're going to monitor your patient if you got that monitor. Think about it. It's just that simple. Like, you can't monitor anything if you don't have anybody connected to it. So
I am. So, your first alarm was the apnea, 20 seconds. Then we're gonna go and we're gonna have our pressure, our respiratory rate total, minute ventilation total, mandatory tidal volume, exhale tidal volume, spontaneous exhale tidal volume. Well, right now we're not spontaneously doing anything. So this over here has nothing to do with us now, okay? So when we're looking at peak pressure, that's our high pressure, okay? So we look at whatever our patient was doing. If they were breathing, you know, a chunk higher than 18, currently that's what it is, you would go 10 to 15 above that. So I need to back this down to about 35 based off of what we're doing right now with 20, okay?
You said 10 or 10 to 15?
Above what the patient's doing.
The high pressure one.
So high. With this one, you don't have a low pressure. It's just a high. And then you have your respiratory rate. And if you want to know what your patient's doing, you see the little black tabs on the side? That's telling you what your patient's doing. Yeah, not on all of them, but like this one. Well, we're breathing 10 times a minute. Let's just say you can do 10 to 15 above with the respiratory rate too. I'm gonna keep it the same as 15 above. So I did 15 above for both of those. Okay? Then we have our minute ventilation. Typically 5 above, 5 below, but never go below 3. So we're doing almost 5 now. So I can move it all the way up to 10, but I'm not gonna go any lower than 3. I'll just leave it at 3.3. Tidal volume, typically 100 above, 100 below. Sometimes in real life you have that stretched a little farther because your patients are a little bit all over the place. Textbook says 100 above, 100 below though.
What did you say?
Tidal volume, 100 above, 100 below.
And that's the tidal volume mandatory.
Yes.
Spontaneous.
But as you notice, I'm changing it. When I changed the top one, it changed to spontaneous too. And then accept all. And we'll go back so you can look at it. And you can see where your patient is. Say your patient starts alarming and you don't know what's going on. You can hit that and you see exactly where your patient is compared to the range you set. I mean, typically it tells you on the screen what it's doing anyway, but if you just have a moment and can't think of it, that's what.
And after you set your alarms, what do you do? You monitor everything, right? All your monitoring at the very top, all your settings are at the bottom. You have waveforms.
This is what you did. This is what they're doing. You can even move it over, look some more.
And what did I tell you guys? Start what? You monitor. Start top to
right.
bottom, left to right. Alright, top to bottom, left to right.
That way you don't miss anything.
Y'all need to read everything. I told them last week, I said, we're gonna take y'all back to school, elementary school. Just read, you know, literally just go from left to right and read everything to it. And I can see from here, your PIP is 19. So that's where I'm gonna start. I'm gonna say my PIP is 19, and I think that's what's next, tidal volume.
Excel tidal volume.
So, I mean, you just kind of, it's 494, so just kind of, again, just tell us what.
Your total respiratory rate.
You won't miss anything if you just read it.
Your IDE ratio. Your PEEP. Your mean area pressure. Your total exhaled minute ventilation. And that's your exhaled tidal volume, which is, they're not doing anything different because we're not spontaneously breathing. But you can move it over. That's it.
Now see how, and when you go up there and play with it, I mean, you can hit the buttons like she's doing, so you can just kind of play around with it and just say, oh, what's on this thing, what's this one, you know, what's that? Everybody know where the alarm silence button is?
Yes.
Alarm silence, I think there's a reset button here too, right beside that. You see how it reset from the alarms was yellow and then it went to red by itself, that's a reset. So,
If you want to do plateau pressure, it's before you hold. This one doesn't tell you what it is. You just have to hit it because it looks like a pause button and it has ears going in. And so it works on it itself. You hit it and the next breath, it'll go through and it'll find it for you. So our plateau is 19, and it figures out your static compliance for you. Okay?
Write that down, because y'all need to do that, that's part of what it is, part of mine.
Mm-hmm.
The plateau and your compliance.
So you have to press on this one, you'll have to actually match it up with
Mm-mm. This one's smart enough.
Yeah.
This one's smart. You just hit it, you wait for it to take its next breath, and it does it on its own.
Did y'all see what buttons you hit? Okay. Does it give you resistance to it?
This one.
And it's,
Does it give you resistance to it? Or just plateau and compliance? You may have to change the waveform.
and it's the static compliance, I got the diagram.
That-
So, if you change your waveform to square, like I just did, you can get your resistance
I hit the same button.
by hitting the same button.
All three, plateau, compliance, and resistance. I hit the same button, but put it in square wave.
But when you're done,
Take it back to the ground.
take it back to ramp.
When you're done doing the plateau.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you just go ahead
So you see this little button right here?
and then just hit
You have
the
two
button
options.
for the pressure.
You either have
And then
ramp
do all three, plateau,
or square.
compliance, and resistance.
Ramp's a little bit more patient friendly. So that's where you're gonna see it default to mostly.
So would you rather us?
But square, I can go back and
Here's where waveform. Do all three.
hit my plateau pressure. It's thinking about it. It's doing it, and it'll